Okay, so I got a free lunch today. I heard there was a free lunch for the homeless. There's a synagogue here in Pico Robertson, so I quickly threw on some pants and ran out the door. And when I arrived, I was among the least kempt people there, so most of the homeless are better attired than I am. And I have a lot of phobias about the homeless. I have to admit that it's not easy for me to interact with people who I believe are below me in social status. I want to kind of orient upwards to people above me, to the powerful, because I want to be powerful, and the rich because I want to be rich, and the successful because I want to be successful. I don't have a particularly good track record in this regard, even though I have lived out of my car for I don't know, about 9 months in 1994-95. I remember when I was a kid, there was this mental institution in the neighborhood where I lived, and they'd walk by my friend's house and I'd sit there and I'd talk to the mentally ill, and I tried to trade them things for their radios, because they'd often come by carrying radios, listening to radios. And so this is around 1976. So I'd try to trade them something stupid, like my underwear for their radio. Even though these people were mentally ill, they never went for any of my fraudulent schemes. I remember also one day there were all these badly handicapped kids who came to school, like second grade, and I was terrible. I was always making fun of them. So I don't have a good track record. So none of the homeless smelled bad. But then I have no sense of smell, so they could have smelled horrible and I wouldn't have really noticed it. And frankly, they looked like a bunch of college professors. And their table manners and restraint with the food, even though they were dying to get to the food, was equal to what happens at most synagogues on Sabbath mornings of the Kiddush, from what I've seen. Then this one homeless guy asked the rabbi what did Judaism think about UFOs, and the rabbi said the Torah is strangely silent on the subject of UFOs, but Rabbi Norman Lamb of Yeshiva University wrote an essay on it. The rabbi knew everybody by name, all the homeless people by name. He gave a sermon a few weeks ago just telling stories of various homeless people that I pass pretty much every day in the street and just totally ignore. So it made them seem more human to me. It made the point that the only dignity they have is the dignity that we give them. Now, there's this one homeless couple I'm always nice to and smile and say hi to. That's because I have to walk past them every day on their way to prayers. And because I never give money to the homeless. Not directly, because in my view, most of them are alcoholics and drug addicts, so it's not worth giving them money. So instead of giving them money, because I have to pass this couple every day on my way to Mincha, then I'm always nice to them. But that's totally self-interest. And there's this one other guy who I always talk to. That's just to make me feel good that I'm really a mensch. Somewhat mentally ill older guy, about 60, walks around with a ball. So I always stop and talk to him. Then I feel like I've filled my quotient of goodness for the day, and I can go back to raping and pillaging. So lunch was pretty much fleischik, meaning meat. So I put a little something on my plate and just moved it around. Then I noticed there was dessert. So then my eyes and stomach came alive. Filled up with chocolate cake and Hamantaschen. Chocolate chip Hamantaschen. Food was donated by Brenda's Catering and Jeff's Gourmet. Everyone seemed to love the food. All sorts of races there among the homeless, and most of them looked just fine, dressed decently. Didn't smell bad, they didn't act badly. Man organizing this high-powered intellectual property attorney led a discussion, and it was on politics, whether Hillary Clinton should leave or not. And I'd say the discussion was about as rational and sophisticated as most of the cable shoutfest like Hardball. These people know their stuff. Like, I'm tempted, to dismiss their humanity, but now that I've had to interact with them on a one-to-one basis and listen to them talk, I realize they're quite lucid, well-informed, clean, interesting people. So when I run into them on the streets, it's going to be a whole different level of interaction. I can't just look away and ignore them. When the rabbi told several of their stories, now I find them more interesting. I found myself stopping to talk with Sheila. He's always in and out of Cedar Sinai, hanging out on Pico Boulevard. So I made a couple of pages of notes, and it's just a good place to go to get stories. Oh, there's this one guy, looked like an ex-Marine type. He was talking about John McCain getting beat up when his plane crashed in Vietnam, I think around 1967. His life was saved by these North Vietnamese, but other North Vietnamese were beating him up. Then said they were beating the shit out of him. Rabbi, oh sorry, they were beating him up. That was pretty funny. And I immediately tensed up when I saw the decision was going to be political, the discussion. But even though people had strongly held views, and there are about as many Republicans in the crowd as Democrats, it was civil, spirited but civil.